Now, let's walk through reinstalling the new standpipe. Attach standpipe removal tool to the top of the new standpipe. Lightly lubricate the O-rings at the base of the new standpipe. Carefully lower the standpipe over the polished rod. Tap the top of the tool with a rubber hammer until the standpipe reaches the bottom. Insert thin Allen key into one of the standpipe bolt holes and turn the standpipe until the Allen key pushes through and contacts the polished rod. Place new steel washers and new sealing washer on the standpipe bolts and install both into base plate. Tighten to 45 foot-pounds. Check that the standpipe can move freely from side to side and remove tool. To install stuffing box, follow these steps. Lightly lubricate O-rings on fluid lock seal carrier with grease. Orient with the brass labyrinth on the bottom and install into main shaft over standpipe. Using the packing pusher tool, carefully tap the top with a rubber mallet until fully bottomed out. Ensure there is no seal or O-ring damage during installation by looking inside main shaft for O-ring material. Install the spring bushing. Use the packing pusher tool to push down if necessary. Note: spring bushing of fluid lock kit is a single-piece part without seals or O-rings. Ensure the spring bushing is on top of the packing spring. Install a new packing set by tapping each row using the packing pusher tool and a rubber mallet, making sure that no fibers are caught between the standpipe and alternating the seams by 90 degrees to 120 degrees. Ensure the last row of packing sits below the top of the standpipe. Apply grease to the new O-rings on the outside of the seal carrier before install. Install static seal carrier assembly over the polished rod and slide into the main shaft. Tap into place with a rubber mallet. Install new static seals with grease and install with chevron facing down and Teflon spacer between the two seals and steel washer on top. Apply a small amount of anti-seize to the drive nut threads and lower the drive nut over the polished rod. Thread on to main shaft until it bottoms out on the top of main shaft using the drive nut wrench. Make a mark with a paint pen between the drive nut and the main shaft. Back off the nut and line up the 5/16 socket cap screw holes in the static seal carrier. Install both bolts and tighten. Using the drive nut wrench, turn the nut back to the paint mark made earlier. Tighten the drive nut with 3 heavy blows using a heavy copper hammer and the drive nut wrench. Check that paint marks are at least 5 millimeters apart. Reinstall the polished rod clamp and hold down hook plates if available as per the IOM. Install the polished rod guard. Fill the oil to the full level on the sight glass. De-isolate well and prepare for startup.
And now back to Australia, where they're gonna show us how to start up the drive head after the service is done.
After work has been performed on the stuffing box, it is important to complete the following steps in order to ensure performance and reliability. Start drive head at 100 RPMs and let it run for 30 minutes before ramping up. Check for leaks and adjust pressure accordingly. Check the manual for further details. Once started, confirm stuffing box pressure and verify full range function by briefly adjusting the PRV clockwise to maximize pressure. Record maximum achievable pressure, then reduce to 175 psi. If unable to achieve greater than 500 psi lube pressure prior to shutdown, you will need to replace the lube pump and/or PRV. Maintain 175 psi for 1 hour minimum before increasing PCP speed or stuffing box pressure. Once fluid reaches surface, set stuffing box pressure as specified in Section 6 in the manual.